Hello FPL world, my name is Gordon and welcome to FPL Galaxy. So in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys the kind of draft that you can go into Game Week 13. Yes, the wildcard drafts. If you're on a wildcard, if you've activated your wildcard and you're planning to do so in Game Week 13, this is what I thought I would share with you guys, some of the players that you can target and the kind of drafts that you can go with. Of course, the draft is going to differ from one person to another depending on the team value. Yes, the money that you have in your bank and how much your team has actually gained in value, because each and every team has got a different team value depending on the kind of players that you've had during the course of the time that you've been playing. Some people have lost a lot of value because of holding on to certain players, and others have gained so much value for having a certain individuals or certain players. So what you have right here is my current team, and of course I'm not doing this for myself, I'm just doing this so as to share with you guys as to what kind of draft you can go with. So first things first, the kind of draft, or rather the team that you go with in Game Week 13, if you're planning to wildcard in Game Week 13, is entirely dependent on what strategy you're going with. Are you going with a back four of defenders, or rather you want to stick to three? You are not so reliant on defenders anymore, you feel they can concede anytime, and maybe you want to go with a 3-5-2 kind of setup, or you're going with a 3-4-3 kind of formation. All that is going to define the kind of draft or players that you have to put in. For example, if I plan to have a 3-4-3 kind of formation, it means that I may choose to go with 3 proper defenders, some of which may be 2 expensive ones, and a defender who is slightly lower but is very good. Or if you're going with the back four, it means you have to have 4 pretty good defenders that you have to trust to bring you the goods each and every week. Then if you're going with 5 midfielders, meaning your defenders will have to be a 3 or 4. If you're going with a 3-5-2 setup, it means you have to have all good midfielders, 5 of them. Then only 2 strikers are enough for you. That means you're going to have 1 striker which is just going to be that fill up striker, the budget striker. Then if you're going with a 3-4-3 setup, it means your strikers have to be good, they have to be bringing in new points week in, week out. Of course that can happen, but the players that you choose to put as strikers should be players you feel may give you points every now and then, all 3 of them. Then for the midfield, 4 of them reliable midfielders, and then have a budget midfielder. For example, my setup is a 3-4-3, for example. This is where you have Andreas, who is the best budget midfielder right now. He's the best 4.5 midfielder that you can have. Unless you have enough funds, then you can upgrade him somebody slightly higher and who is delivering even better. Then my back four, of course, is a little bit more expensive, and that's why with time I'm gonna have to trim it down a little bit, but who knows. Yeah, so let's see how we go here. So with the defenders, yeah, of course the defense is made up of the on-field defenders themselves and the goalkeeper. So the goalkeeper there, I have some suggestion for you guys. I'm sure you know of the Chelsea goalkeeper Kepa, who has just risen from the ashes. Similar to the theme of my season, Kepa has also just risen from the ashes. He's doing pretty good, he's playing very good football, and in some parts is the reason as to why Chelsea have been keeping back-to-back clean sheets. Very good, very acrobatic player, and he's only 4.5 million. Imagine having a Chelsea nailed goalkeeper. Yeah, of course right now we can assume that he's nailed. We do not know when Mendy is gonna come back and probably assume that goalkeeper role that he had. But for now, I just feel Graham Potter trusts Kepa and what Kepa is doing in that team. Look at the number of clean sheets that he has kept in just a few games that he has played. So Kepa is somebody that I would recommend for you to have in your team. If you want to see the stats that Kepa has had this season so far, just looking at him there, you see that he's done pretty well of course, game week 1 to 9, or rather game week 1 to 6, he didn't do anything there. Game week 7 was a blank game week. Game week 8 was a blank for Chelsea also. So he started playing from game week 9. Yes, they conceded in that one. He got 2 points. Then he got 6 points, 10, 8, and then the most recent one, of course, which is the 8 over there. But this just shows you how good Kepa has been. If you add up all those points, what do they give us? Yeah, that is an 18, 26 points in just 4 games played. These are pretty good results considering the number of games that he has played. So this is Kepa. You can have him in there. He's going to be the cheapest defender you would have from a pretty good team. Chelsea are a team that are known for keeping clean sheets, and from what Potter is doing with this team, you can trust that Kepa will bring in those points. And because Kepa is quite acrobatic, you are most definitely going to be getting those save points. Just like I have Araya there in goal, Araya gives me the save points, and that's why I have him in there. I don't have him particularly for the clean sheet points, but rather also for the valuable save points that he comes with. So I might just switch to Kepa pretty soon, if at all I'm going to have the chance and time to do so. So I might make that switch from Raya to Kepa. So let me just, of course, I'm going to keep Quad because it's the cheapest budget goalkeeper that you can have right now. Everson is the other goalkeeper that is there at Leicester who may play ahead of him, but right now things are that Ward is the number 1 goalkeeper for Leicester, so just keep him in there, set and forget. At times when Kepa won't be in that team, let's say Mendy returns, then Ward can cover you up, of course, with a traditional 1 and 2 points. But for now, this is what you have as a backline. So let me just delete these fields. So like I mentioned, guys, this is my current team, and I'm not saying you go with my current team because you're going to lose points. I'm really about changing my team right now, so you don't want to copy exactly what my team is like currently, and that's why I'm suggesting that you go with this wildcard draft that I'm putting up. So now let's start with the first one. We're going with the 3-4-3 setup. So this is where we're going to have a reliable player. So we're going to have Cancelo over here. Cancelo is the best scoring defender right now, and that's why he's going to assume his position. Trippier is another one that we're going to put back. Trippier is very good. He's doing so well at that team. That is Newcastle. Newcastle are keeping clean sheets, and Trippier is doing so much. He's getting the bonus points. That just shows you how good he is with his work rate in that team. So just have him there as a set and forget and gain those points. He's one of those players that you can just even have even though he's playing some tricky fixtures, some difficult teams. You see what happened in the Manchester United match. He was able to keep a clean sheet, a match that you might have thought Manchester United would have scored, and there he was. He kept a clean sheet, an invaluable clean sheet that we didn't expect. Now this is where things become a little bit tricky, because this is where you have to decide who you're going to go with. So since we're going with a 3-4-3 setup, let's just bring back Nico Williams, as he is the best budget defender right now. So let's just bring him back there. Now the next 2 spots, this is where now things become a little bit tricky. Who are you going to back to be your 3rd reliable defender? Now, as you're able to see on the right here, it shows you how defenders have been doing this entire season. It shows you which defender is bringing the points, who are the best defenders right now. And of course, like I was saying, Cancelo is the best scoring defender. He's just been overthrown by Trippier by a point. That is because Cancelo didn't play any match in this game week, and that's why he is on the 2nd slot now. Saliba is doing very well, but because he has risen in price, he's here as good. Of course, he is good, but we're talking about funds here. We need to have value players. Now, looking at the fixtures also, because the fixtures determine what kind of players you'd want to put in. Liverpool have got very good fixtures, and so I would recommend that you put in a Liverpool player. And what kind of Liverpool player can we go with? So let's put in Trent. Alexander-Arnold. Trent Alexander-Arnold has had a serious backlash in the few weeks that have passed due to how he has been blundering back there. We see what's been happening. He's been the target player, but we see some redefinition in that Liverpool defense in the recent past. Virgil van Dijk has gained back his form, and so that would very much benefit Trent, who usually wants to go forward in attack. And we've been seeing this in the match that they just played against West Ham. Trent was there doing what he usually does, and he's gaining that confidence back. So he's a player that I would recommend that you have in there, because you don't want to bring in the likes of Robertson and Tsimikas are sharing the minutes, so you don't want to go the other side of the defense of the fullbacks. But let's go with Trent here. Of course, the value, the price, the budget that we have there is going to reduce tremendously because of that. Then the fifth defender that I would go with, somebody that you can be hopping onto in hard times, and sometimes it's going to be difficult because this defender is doing so well that you may even be frustrated sometimes. He may be scoring more than your on-field reliable players. So that's Diogo Dalot doing the numbers at Manchester United. He gets so many bonus points because also he's got a high work rate, just like Trippier, who's been doing the same there. Diogo Dalot has been doing the same. He's got an attack-minded play, and that's why you would want to have him in there. Manchester United's defense has really improved from the last times that we've known them. So Diogo Dalot, that's why he's even found there in the leaders board. He's somewhere. Where is he? I saw him somewhere nearby here. Yeah, he's over here, 38. So he's climbing slowly but surely. So let's see how this goes. You can have Diogo Dalot there. He's quite cheap, just 4.6. So you can just be one of those players that you rotate on the bench with other players, the likes of Trippier. If you're not so confident about the fixtures with Trippier, so you can have him there. You can be exchanging the two. Then going in the midfield, we would like to bring back certain players, the likes of Martinelli. These guys are set and forget. If you look at the fixtures that Arsenal have, they have so many greens in there. They face Southampton, they face Nottingham Forest, they face Chelsea, they face Wolves, West Ham United. I would say Martinelli has a potential of scoring in each one of those matches, and even more than once in any of them. That's how good he's become this season. He's become a very reliable source of points in that midfield. Then, of course, we return Foden. Just shows you how good Foden is this season. And from now till the World Cup starts, I believe Foden is going to have a number of stats. Hopefully, he can have more than 4 stats in this one, because how many fixtures are remaining? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I'm saying more than 4, but there are only 4 remaining. Yeah, so this is the last fixture they're going to play before they go to the World Cup. That is game week 16. So they play Brighton, next Leicester, Fulham, and Brentford. Pretty good fixtures there with the potential of him scoring big. I would recommend you go for Foden, because the presence of Haaland is making Foden have more chances, and he's having a little bit more of space. Haaland is demanding so much attention to him that is drawing so many defenders to him, that is allowing Foden to sneak into those small pockets of space that are left by defenders, opposing defenders. So let's see. Foden is one that I would recommend you having there. And since we're going with the 3-4-3 setup, you'd love to have Andreas there as your budget midfielder, just to give you some level of fans. Now, the next spaces that we would want to fill up, we would love to go with another Arsenal player who is doing very good. He's come back from the ashes also. He's now placed second amongst the midfielders there. And if you look back to a game week 2 to 4 somewhere there, he wasn't doing so good, and most people had dumped him. Those people that bought him ahead of the season, they dumped him because of how slow he started. But look at where he is right now. For players that were rather for managers that were patient on Saka, they've really gained a lot from him in the few game weeks that he's been holding. So now Saka is one player that I would recommend you have. Martinelli and Saka are going to do numbers on the few fixtures that are yet to come. Now the next players, let's just fill up the Haaland spot here so that we see how much funds are remaining. So here we see that we are remaining with about 25.3 million. What can we do with 25.3 million remaining with 3 players? So 25 divided by 3, that gives us approximately 8. So we're looking at an average of 8 million to spend. So forward, I would recommend you guys go with the likes of Harry Kane. Harry Kane has been one of the most consistent players in the season, and that is why in the leaders board, in the forward players, you can see he's second only to Haaland, who is at 104, and he himself is at 74. And that's why I recommend that you have Harry Kane over there. If you are able to bring him, and like I mentioned, your success to building such a team will be dependent on your team value, the amount of money that you have managed to earn due to the value of players increasing or rather dropping. Yeah, so this is where we are now. The budget there remains at 13.9. 13.9 divided by 2, it gives you approximately 6.8. 6.8 is what we have to work around with. Remember, we need to have a reliable midfielder here who needs to give us points week in, week out. So this can be no other than Rashford. So we're going to have Rashford in there. Rashford has been doing pretty well, and even in the match that they played, I have to mention also, guys, that I'm recording this right after, of course not right after, but a day after the matches that happened between Liverpool and West Ham, Manchester United and Tottenham, where of course Tottenham lost 2-0 to Manchester United. So I watched that match. I've been watching Manchester United matches, and I've been seeing Rashford has been passing on the eye test. He's really good. He's got the pace, and he has got that destructive attack in him. He may be able to devastate a number of teams that are caught napping, and this is why I would recommend that you have him in your teams. Or if you have the funds, you can go for the likes of Anthony there, who is a little bit more nailed, because Rashford may start sharing minutes with the likes of Ronaldo, and that is why Ronaldo in that match, unfortunately, he even stormed out of the pitch before the match ended. It's because of such things that you may want to keep an eye on Rashford, but right now I would say he is the preferred forward. Now going forward, pun unintended, let's go with somebody who is within that budget, 7.3. Who can that be? And we're going with the forwards here, so let's select from the forwards somebody who can fit in that. And here we have those players here. There's Tony at 7.4. Of course, I'm only mentioning those that are closer to the budget or even way below that budget for us to be able to move that person in. So Mitrovic is somebody I would recommend you guys to bring in. Mitrovic has been one of the most reliable FPL forwards this season. One of the most reliable. A look at his numbers first of all. Is how many points he's been bringing in. Look, 13. This one, of course, he missed the penalty, and that's why it ended up to that. 6, 7, 9, 5. He blanked here. Here he was injured. Of course, then he came back with a 7, and then this one is yet to play. This match is going to be today. Today is when they are playing that match, and so we see on the 20th of October is when they are going to play Aston Villa. Let's see how he does in that one. I believe he might even be able to score twice or so and be able to get a 13-pointer or something like that. So Mitrovic is somebody I would recommend you guys having in your teams. And here you have yourself this wildcard. Yeah, the wildcard is not so similar to what you may be able to see out there. It's a very personalized wildcard, but it's based on the performances of players right now and the form that they're in. The beauty with this wildcard is you're not just going by names of people, but you're going by what these players may be able to do, and also in connection to the fixtures. Mitrovic, for example, has very promising fixtures here. Aston Villa, Leeds, Everton, the likes of Man City there, and Manchester United. He's able to score in each one of these. Yeah, Manchester City may be a little bit difficult, but he was able to score against Liverpool. And yeah, of course, we say Liverpool, their defense wasn't so good then, but he scored. He's able to score against the big teams, and nothing would stop him from doing so. And so, looking at the number of greens that we have here, we know Mitrovic has the potential of scoring. And of course, let's not talk about 12 because we're only talking about 13 going up to 16, as this World Card is focusing on game week 13 going onwards. Haaland, he's fixture proof. He's able to score in any fixture. As we know, Manchester City are a very good quality team. They create so many chances, and Haaland is at the forefront of those attacks. Kane, on the other hand, also has promising fixtures. He faces a little bit of a challenge next week, next game week, that is game week 13 in Newcastle. Newcastle have been pretty defensive this season, but after that they face Bournemouth, who have been quite tricky, I should say, lately because of how they are playing. They're not conceding plenty, but the quality of player that Kane is, he may be able just to sneak in a little bit of some goals here and there. A goal or assist may be enough for him to have even a double-digit figure. Of course, I'm saying a combination of those two, not just one of them. Then Liverpool there is going to be a pretty interesting fixture to see how Tottenham does against Liverpool at home. Now, that's Kane. Then we talked about Arsenal and the kind of fixtures that they have. Manchester United are facing Chelsea next, which is going to be pretty difficult. Not so easy a fixture, but he is able to do something in here. He's able to score. I believe that. They are facing West Ham next, Aston Villa, and then Fulham. All fixtures that Rashford, he is able to score himself. Foden, I mean, is in the similar line with Haaland. So everything I said about Haaland, Foden also is able to do. Then when it comes to defense, Cancelo has got a good potential of assisting, scoring himself, as we have seen. And the Leicester match particularly is a very good fixture for him, as he is able to devastate that Leicester defense with his attacking prowess. And Manchester City, I would see maybe 2 or even 3 clean sheets in here. Then Trent, like I mentioned, we saw the Liverpool fixtures. Then Trippier, the next match they face is going to be a little bit difficult against the likes of Kane, Song, runners. So it's going to be pretty intense. And I may see Trippier getting some bonus points here because I believe he's going to be really active in that match. But let's see how this goes. The next 2 matches are a little bit more favorable for Newcastle, and I expect some clean sheets from there. Diogo Dalot, like I mentioned when I was talking about Rashford, they have some pretty interesting fixtures also after the Chelsea one, so he may get some clean sheets, and those are bonus points that he's been getting. He's become a bonus point magnet. Kepa Arrizabalaga is really good, I should say. He's very acrobatic, like I mentioned, and although these fixtures are looking like this, he's brought in because of the save points. And if you've got a midfield, or rather a goalkeeper who is at 4.5 from a team like Chelsea, not only are you bringing Kepa for the save points, but he may even be able to get those surprising clean sheets, because Chelsea are a quality team who are able to keep clean sheets, and because of the quality players that they have, they are able to put teams at bay, not allowing them to score, and that's why he is there. So if you've got the likes of Raya like myself, you may easily switch to Kepa, because Kepa gives you more than what Raya gives right now, and that is why we have him in there. The likes of Ward, like I mentioned, Leicester team is number 1 there, is the best budget defender to just put on your bench as a set and forget. So this is what I thought to share with you guys. This is my thoughts to do with the wildcard. Maybe we just think around the team. So instead of having Trent here, if you're not so okay with the Trent move, let's just put another player here. You can have Saliba because Arsenal have been doing so well. They've been keeping teams at bay, not allowing them to score, and so Saliba is somebody that you may be more comfortable having there if you're okay with having this. Or maybe here you may want to have the likes of Gehi from Crystal Palace. That is something that you would go for. Where is Gehi even over here? Let's see, he must be on the other slide. So Gehi is a player that you may bring in, or Anderson, but I believe Gehi is cheaper than Anderson because he had some price drops, so he's at 4.4. But if you want to have more attacking potential, you can have the likes of Anderson from Crystal Palace also at just 0.1 more than Gehi. So this gives us a 2.8 more. So this setup, we want to go now with the 3-5-3, or rather 3-5-2 setup. This is what we want to go with. So you may want to improve your mid there. So it means we have to drop somebody here, but we wouldn't want to just have any striker. We want to have a playing striker. So the likes of Solanke can come in as that budget striker. Then this gives us how much there? This gives us 8.3. So this 8.3, we then want to go with another midfielder who is doing pretty good, somebody you'd want to target. So there are some options here. You can either go for Zaha or go for Bowen, although he was just from missing a penalty. Not missing entirely, but of course he scored missing in FPL terms and in football terms. He had his penalty saved by Alisson, who's been very prolific in the past 2 game weeks. First, it was an assist to Salah, and now he saved, and he's had back-to-back double-digit holes. And that is Alisson from Liverpool. If it's somebody that you fancy to go with, you can actually go for him. So let's do this. I can actually say we can have the likes of not Mount, but it's somebody that you would want to go for also. So let's see. We say Zaha here. How much are we left with? 0.9. Okay. And then that 0.9 is something now that you can use to upgrade Kepa to Alisson. If you feel more comfortable having a premium player, this is something that you can have then. So this would be the other version of the team. You have Alisson in goal. Then your defenders, the most reliable ones would be Cancelo, Saliba, and Trippier. Then Gehi and Williams would be those players that you bring in when things are tough, or you have those unexpected blank game weeks. Then the midfield would be a midfield made up of the 5 mid-priced midfielders. Yeah, so those there are pretty good midfielders that would be bringing in the points week in, week out. Then the front line has got 2 premium strikers with Solanke there. So Solanke is somebody that you can be switching with one of the midfielders like Rashford, or any one of them you feel may not have as good a fixture. So this is one of the other wildcard teams that I would recommend you guys going with. Then finally, let's have a striker from Liverpool in the likes of Darwin Núñez. Darwin Núñez looks to be really good in that Liverpool team, even better than Salah right now. I know most of you guys ain't gonna be happy me comparing Salah to Darwin Núñez, but that's what it is right now. Unfortunately, Salah isn't the Salah that we knew back then. Whatever is happening to him, he needs to fix that, because he's costing so many FPL players who are trusting their points, or rather their funds, in him. So when we have Darwin Núñez in there, it means we need to downgrade one of our midfielders. So we need to get back to our friend Andreas. So Andreas, I will call you back, buddy. Andreas is actually here. Now, how much? 0.1, we're priced out. So that 0.1, we have to get it back from who? We have to get it back. We can get it back. So we can remove Gehi. to make sure we get this back. Sort by, we sort it by what? Not price 4, creativity, bonus. Okay. No, I think we can get somebody who is lowly priced, who is in the 4.3s. Who can that be? 4.3, a defender. The defenders have had some price rises lately. I've seen Justin over there, but let's just see if we can find any better option apart from Justin. Okay, I believe Justin is the best 4.3 option that we have. So let's go for Justin. Justin plays for Leicester and he's got that attacking potential also in him. So let's just have him in there. Remember, this is a 3-4-3 setup with a Liverpool striker. So if you fancy the Liverpool guys, this is the setup that you can go with. If you fancy the Liverpool fixtures, especially that they're playing Nottingham Forest, you want to have a Liverpool striking force in there, or you can choose to go with Darwin Núñez as your Liverpool striking cover. Yeah, maybe some of you want to go with Salah. Salah is somebody you can have. So what we can do is we can downgrade Kane, upgrade the likes of, okay, let's do this. For you who want to go with the likes of Salah, let's do something for you and see what you can have. We have Salah in there because I believe Salah has got so many followers that just want to have him in there. Then Darwin Núñez will have to be dropped. How much do we have left? We have 11.9. Now 11.9, how can we divide that equally? This means Solanke will have to come there, come back. We're left with 6.1. Anybody? Enough. Okay, so this means we have to go back to Kepa. We have to go back to Kepa here, so that we can have enough funds to then upgrade to Mitrovic. Or rather, yeah, of course, Mitrovic would be enough. We then go to Mitrovic, who is still at 6.8. There we go. So this is enough. You can go with this one here, where you've got Haaland, you've got Salah, and the other prolific midfielders who are going to be bringing in the points. And then you have Solanke and Mitrovic, and then those defenders. I feel this is a very very good draft. So guys, you can actually go for this one if you have the funds. You can go for this draft. Salah in there to target the next few fixtures. Nottingham Forest in there. We know Salah is on penalties, so he's able to score one of those, but you still trust that Haaland will bring in the goods. You can place the captaincy on him, or Salah for the Nottingham Forest match. Then Mitrovic and Solanke, of course Mitrovic would be your number one striking partner with Haaland there, and then Solanke can be coming in those fixtures that you feel maybe Rashford wouldn't do the deed. The back line there would definitely be Cancelo, Saliba and Trippier, with Justin and Williams being the substitute players, substitute defenders in this case, who would be coming in times when one of these players blank. For example, Pep just suddenly decides not to play Foden, and then one of those guys would come in and cover Foden. Then in goal, Rizabalaga, that is Kepa, is somebody that we can trust to bring in those points, save points, or even the unexpected but expected clean sheets from Chelsea. So these are three different drafts what I wanted to share with you guys. Remember, we can go with a 3-5-2 setup, a 3-4-3 setup, or rather a 3-4-3 setup. Or in more extreme circumstances, you can actually go for a 4-5-1 setup, having 4 defenders, 5 midfielders, and 1 striker. That would be Haaland, of course, but that would mean you have to have proper defenders back there. But this time around, the defense is not proving to be the most reliable source of points, so just fully invest in the attack to bring you those points. Yeah, so this is what I wanted to share with you guys, and thank you so much for watching. If you've reached this far, please do hit the subscribe button, the like button, and share this please. But of course, most importantly, do also comment, share your views about what you're doing going into game week 13. You wouldn't necessarily be one of the people that are wildcarding, but just share how much have you gotten in game week 12 thus far. I know there are 2 matches left. Even I am waiting for some points from Andreas. I'm sitting at 45 points right now. I didn't wildcard. I didn't wildcard. I didn't take a free hit, and I didn't also take any points hit. So I'm pretty happy with where I stand right now, and hopefully this can continue going into game week 13. The transfer that I made, because I had the likes of Trossard and I captained Trossard in this week, I was pretty happy that Salah didn't hold. Most people were thinking Salah hold, and I know some of you guys even captain Salah. Sorry for that, but it's FPL. I was hoping Salah wouldn't score much. I was happy that minutes passed and I wasn't seeing any goal assist from him, and that's how come I'm still on a green arrow. I'm rising from very deep ash areas. Yeah, in the past few game weeks I was even placed somewhere around the 5 millions there. So right now I'm at 1.7 million. I know most of you guys are doing better out there, and fair play to you. So this is why I stand, like I've been mentioning, I've themed this season rise from the ashes. So I'm rising from the ashes, hopefully to reach those upper ranks. So this is where I stand, and I just thought, well, let me share my thoughts on the kind of wildcard to go into game week 13 for some of you who still have your wildcards, so that you can be better placed to make better decisions even as you go into a game week 13. So thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit that bell so that you can be receiving more of such. So until the next one, ciao.